Look, I said I was done until Lightfall drops, but apparently I fucking lied because for some reason, Bungie keeps posting developer insights, which I don't mind at all. To the contrary, I appreciate the amount of developer insights we've gotten, and I think everyone should be too, unless you're a Titan main. If I'm a prostitute, then Destiny is the whorehouse, and I'm standing right outside waiting for it to open to start my shift. Keep it up, Bungie. But, just like how everyone has an asshole, everyone has an opinion, and I'm no exception. Although today, it's more like objective observations are the main entree, and my opinions are like dessert if you have room for it. Let's get into it. Bungie is furthering the fantasy of strands by reiterating the fact that Strand is everywhere. It's a cosmic power that holds the universe together, more or less. Warlock weaving Strand into needles, Hunter weaving Strand into a rope dart, and Titans weaving Strand into claws? One of those things are not like the other. All of those have something to do with string, needle, and threads, except the claws. I'm not going to dwell on it too long in this video, but yeah, it's a bit strange to say the least from what I've seen. You can make the argument that the Warlock and Hunter make the thread, and the Titan's job is to cut the strings of the universe, which sounds cool, but in 3 or 4 trailers and Vidocs, no one on the dev team has made that analogy. No one has explicitly even mentioned it. It's left up to the players to make that connection, which feels a bit weird since every other class's power fantasy is explicitly stated. The only description so far Titans have gotten is that they have a light and a heavy attack. It just seems like in the eyes of Bungie, Titans seem to be without analogies, without some sort of power fantasy structure, and the more they speak on the classes, the more obvious it becomes. On a side note, they do mention the Titan Super, and they said they ran into a problem where it was tough to close distance on opponents, so they had to give Titan a ranged attack for the Super, which is the heavy. Well, no shit! Did they just figure out the drawbacks to a class that has majority melee supers? Why did that take so long? The least used supers in Crucible are starting to make sense now, isn't it, Bungie? Hopefully that leads to something more positive so that the next Titan Super isn't another roaming melee super. Anyway, enough of that. A question I want to pose for you guys today is, why do you guys think we haven't seen any PvP gameplay? We've barely seen any PvP gameplay, and there might be a reason for that. Strand is probably horrendously busted in PvP, and they don't want to show that to cause community outrage before launch. Seems like Strand also has some CC or crowd control if you're familiar with MOBAs, just like Stasis. It's not hard CC like Stasis when it launched, but I'm sure it'll be equally as annoying. That, or they just don't feel the need to show Crucible gameplay because it's pointless, because yet again they aren't adding anything new. No new maps at the start of Lightfall. I know it's a dead horse at this point, but I feel like all players, not just PvP players, should be up in arms about the lack of Crucible maps and content. Don't even get me started on Gambit. Crucible is a core part of the game whether PvE mains want to admit it or not, and it being neglected so often is a real shame, and it shouldn't happen in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Why do you guys think we haven't seen any PvP gameplay? You think it's accidental or on purpose? I would love to hear you guys' thoughts, because no one is talking about it. Like always, we will continue these discussions down in the comment section. We are halfway to 1,000 subscribers. We are taking Pocket Tuna Gaming to the moon! Hell yeah, thank you my friends. I'll see your beautiful faces in the next one. Peace!